For daily Ask Reddit. r/Ask Reddit. Ex-Trump supporters, what was the last straw? If you enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. I mostly avoided the news and politics because it was such a contentious subject. I defended Trump, saying, "Nobody's all bad. Clearly there must be some sort of misunderstanding. You're being too hard on him. The media just loves tearing people apart." One day, someone quoted some completely ludicrous, childish tweet of his, and, to prove they were exaggerating or taking things out of context, I looked for Trump on Twitter to find the context and actual quote. I was absolutely horrified. I learned a lot that day. I still read his Twitter feed regularly and continue to be impressed at how much pride he takes in being a completely horrible excuse for a human being. Not me, but a family member. He's a staunch Catholic and firm Republican. What happened in Lafayette Park was what finally did it for him. Having federal agents literally assault peaceful protesters so he could walk across the street for a photo op where he waved around an upside down Bible using a church as a prop was more than he could take. His response to the protests. I truly believe he has lost his mind now. I'm curious to know your opinions before the protests. Looking back, do you think there were other things that should have raised these concerns? This is a genuine question. I'm not trying to rile you up. It's been a slow but continuous decline. I voted third party last time, but I was hopeful in the beginning. For a couple years things were looking up, from my point of view, but the non-stop antagonizing just wore me down. His response to the protest though has shoved me flying off the wagon. Not me, but for a couple of family members, that church photo and the events leading up to it. Gas out the street for a photo op with a Bible. You cannot write this stuff. This is a good day for George Floyd. He is smiling down upon us was what did it for me. I've been ambivalent for a while, liking certain things and disliking others. Was planning to abstain from the presidential part of the ballot, or write-in. I might actually vote for Biden now instead. I had been a very stern Trump supporter since day one. Went to the rallies, bought the shirts, listened to Rush Limbaugh, etc. COVID-19 was the final straw. A friend of mine put it in a good way. At some point, we decided it was bad to listen to scientists and college-educated professionals. I had been leaning away for a while, and then he tweeted out, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." He's a ducking idiot. My Christian grandparents totally did a 180 on their support for him very recently, after he had that photo op while holding the Bible after tear gassing protesters. My grandfather told me that if Jesus were in DC that day he would have been standing with the peaceful protesters and not with him. Edit, my first award. Thank you. I was frustrated when my grandfather supported Trump through all his scandals, but instead of saying "I told you so," I supported his change of view. Sometimes it takes longer for certain people to change, and I'm so glad he did. Personally, I was in the okay, I'm going to give him a chance because that's the right thing to do. I'm not going to judge someone before researching them camp. It didn't take long before I realized this dude is clueless. By that I mean before the end of my lunch break on the day he announced his campaign. I didn't know anything about him before. I never felt the need to read the news concerning him, having gone back and seen the old news stories about him. Can't say I would blame anyone for not giving him a chance. However, my father was a full-on Donnie supporter ever since the escalator incident. On occasion he would admit things were bad, basically whenever he heard Donnie giving a speech, but my dad is a bit of a single issue voter and kept supporting Donnie and ignoring everything bad. The responses to the recent riots seem to have turned him into a Sanders supporter somehow. I'm not sure how he skipped Biden and went all the way to Sanders, but if I never have to hear my dad say Uncle Donnie again then I'm happy.